Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name is Dylan, and thank you so much for coming by. So today's video, we are going over the Uber and Lyft, basically the California employment bill that just got passed by the California Assembly. And I brought in a special guest to join to chat about this together, and you guys can join in live or react if you're watching this on the replay. So I brought in Chris. He is a YouTuber and as well as an Uber and a Lyft driver, and I would maybe classify him as a rideshare YouTuber, but you guys might know him. He's been on the channel before. So introducing Chris. Say hello.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's good to see everybody. Yes, my channel is Real Rideshare Stories. And yeah, we're going to be talking about this California bill.
Yeah. So, and basically what it means for us, for you guys, for us, the drivers. What does this mean? What's the impact going to be? And then I also we're going to share all of our thoughts, but we also want to hear from you guys who are watching this. So leave your thoughts down below and let's, tackle this issue or this topic together. But before we get into that, if you can please do us one simple favor. Chris, do you know what that favor is?
Yes. If you could give this video a thumbs up. It's real easy, real quick. All you got to do is just tap the little thumbs up or give a little click. Make it a good thumbs up.
Yes, please leave the video a thumbs up. That would help me so much. All right, so let's get into the video. If you are in the channel, if you're in the video, give this video a thumbs up. All right, so first of all, Chris, do you want to explain kind of what's going on?
Sure, yeah. So for anybody who doesn't know, who hasn't seen, which I don't know how you couldn't, because you've been blasting this all over, because it's major announcement.
Yeah.
But yeah, the California State Assembly has decided to propose a bill that will classify Uber and Lyft drivers as employees instead of independent contractors. And that's a huge shift because since the beginning of Uber and Lyft and the way the whole thing is able to work is based on independent contracting. So this bill went through the assembly. It's already passed. So it's not something that's a possibility. It's actually something that's a real threat, or a real, not necessarily a threat, but a real possibility of it becoming a law. So now it's going to be going to the state Senate, where the Senate will either hear the same kind of bill, drop their own, and vote on it. And who knows when that might be.
Yeah, so I mean, I've made a few videos on it before. I guess the biggest reaction that I got, a lot of people were saying, oh, this isn't passed, you're just clickbaiting. This isn't anything real, yeah, guys, this has already been passed, and it's going to bring up. So we basically need to hear from the governor, right? Or the Senate. Is that how it works, Chris?
Yeah. So the next step is it'll go to the Senate. And there could be a number of things there that could happen. They could either hear the same bill, drop their own bill, table it, floor it, destroy it, pass it. And so there's quite a few steps that they could take. I haven't heard anything or seen anything. I don't know if you have or not. But yeah, it's in their court right now, essentially.
Yeah, so if you're watching this video, let us know in the comments or in the chat. After you give your thumbs up on the video, and then leave your comments. What do you think? Would you rather be an employee or a contractor? So if you guys don't know, Uber and Lyft, since the creation of Uber and Lyft, it has always been meant for, an extra way, a way to make extra money, to supplement your income. That's why I started driving. I started driving to supplement my income. I was working a job, making like, I don't know, $15 or $16 an hour. And I said, you know what, this just isn't enough. And I wanted to make more. I wanted to pay off some debt, if you guys really want to know why I started driving. And now it's like, in my whole thought on why this is happening, I don't know, Chris, you can share your thoughts after I give my hypothesis or whatever, is because now since so many people are relying on Uber for full-time income, our country's like healthcare system, just the way our country operates, is not meant for a freelancer or a independent contractor. The way that people function in our society is by being an employee, getting benefits. The insurance companies, the pharmaceutical, like healthcare system is like a huge business. And when people kind of like jump through the loophole, and now people are like going to the doctor less, and even what was her name? Gonzalez? Was it Laura Gonzalez or something?
Lorena Gonzalez.
Lorena Gonzalez. She said in when she wrote the bill that Uber and Lyft is basically gaming the system. So it's gotten to the point where Uber and Lyft now have so many like full-time workers, which you can't really even call them full-time, but because it's a contract job, but drivers who are working so many hours a week and depending on Uber and Lyft for their full income, that now it's like gotten to the point where like so many people are doing gig apps and that's their full-time income. So they're not receiving like employee benefits, the right to unionize, healthcare, like access to healthcare as like good healthcare. I mean, you can get like Obamacare and stuff like that, but I mean, there's a lot of that stuff is limited. And what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and then I've also heard studies like by next year, 30% of the United States workforce will be freelancers. So I think there's just like a huge shift, and people are kind of figuring out that independent contract work is not that sustainable in our in our society. I don't know. I could be like just totally ignorant on this, but that's kind of why I think this is happening. I don't know, Chris, why do you think it's happening?
There could be a few reasons, but I would say it's a little bit different when it comes to being an independent contractor or anything, because there's a lot of fields out there that have independent contractors. So like if you're an actor or actress, that's independent contracting. If you're in network marketing or MLM, that's all independent contracting, and that's been around for almost 100 years. If you are a small business owner, medium size, or any business owner, that's technically independent contracting within itself, because you're not an employee versus you're the employer. So you file in a 1099 form.
Yeah.
So, and I think freelance is becoming a more or a bigger way to make money on your terms or your ways. And I think a lot of people, if they know how to do it properly, it's very sustainable. The only thing is, yes, there's a lot of factors that take into account. So like you did touch upon health insurance. That's gotten so ridiculous in the last few years in terms of cost. So a lot of people can't afford it, or have to go on to the government funded or Obamacare. Which that sucks. And but it's a good thing for people who are trying to do their own thing or trying to make it. In my opinion, there's a lot of change going from like the job or the employer relationship to something else, only because I don't know if that's as sustainable anymore. Just because if you look, it's hard for people to buy houses. It's hard for people to make ends meet. So they're trying to do something to supplement their income and still be able to survive, live, and be comfortable.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to why this is being passed, I think it just might be some uneducated people in the government who are coming up with ideas but not taking into the full account. Like they're looking at one side. So like what the strikes uncovered was that Uber and Lyft were taking wages away, like per mile rate. And a lot of people or drivers want like time away or leave, health benefits or just benefits in general. And basically essentially the same things of what employment was or is. But the only thing is employment and independent contracting are two completely different things.
Yeah.
And most people are either uneducated when it comes to that, or not understanding of what it means versus what it actually is in the real world, in the real scheme of things.
Yeah. So let's see. Carl Mamboeo says, how much is the raise? Yeah, we're gonna get into all your guys' questions. Leave your questions down below. We're gonna answer them right now, or if you're watching the replay in the comment section, we'll go back. Couple quick shout outs to everyone on the stream live right now. Carmen Walsh, what's up? Beacon of Light Drivers, you're always in the chat. Renegade Biker 24, he wants to be on my next live stream. Yeah, shoot me an email. Carl Mumbeo, Dakota J, how's it going? Ronald S. Becerra, what's up? Alexis Goulis. Alexis, what's up? You she goes, Dylan. Yeah, I guess she doesn't like you, Chris. Sorry.
Oh, I see how it is. I'll remember that.
What's up, everyone? Supreme Lyft DC Baltimore says comfort is a blessing from God. All right.
Awesome.
Yeah. Oh, guys, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we got the Rideshare Hub merch on, Chris.
Yeah, we're totally twinning right now.
Yeah, if you guys want to join the Rideshare Hub Club, either you can do it in two ways. If you want to join the Rideshare Hub Club, either leave a thumbs up on the video or get the merch. Either one. It's your choice. I would say thumbs up is probably a little bit more cheaper option.
And if you want to be an elite member, $25 more in the super chat.
Yeah, $300 super chat and you're platinum.
There you go.
Yeah, guys, by the way, if you guys want us to do a giveaway of either the shirts or the this is our now custom car freshener Rideshare Hub. If you want a giveaway, or if you want, these are not currently for sale. Sorry, I know a lot of you guys have been asking. You want the opportunity to buy this or in a giveaway, let me know, and then maybe I'll do a giveaway if enough people ask. Maybe I'll give away like 10 of them to the first 10 lucky people who comment. I don't know. But you have to do a thumbs up in order to qualify for the win. Okay, sorry. So back to the questions. Somebody said, oh, Dakota J, haha, you get so excited when you said my name. Supreme Lyft DC Baltimore says, Chris, how much do you work? I guess in general, or for Uber or Lyft?
Yeah, do you mean like all of my projects or just Uber? And by the way, yes, Uber Comfort is actually a pretty cool thing. I don't have it in my area yet, but I do like it.
Oh, Uber Comfort?
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about when he said comfort, right?
He just said comfort in general.
Oh.
I
don't know. I thought Uber Comfort.
But I mean, does your car qualify for comfort or no?
I would assume so because I have a Grand Cherokee, so it's a pretty big vehicle.
But it needs to be like 3 years or newer, or I think.
I'm not sure.
It has to be a newer car. I know that.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Maybe not then.
Yeah. So hello everyone, Orlando. What is your email address? How much, Chris? Okay, so yeah, and then somebody said, how much is the raise? So that's like a spectacle. I mean, the whole reason they're doing this is because they want to raise weight. They want to establish a set wage for drivers. They want to establish the ability for drivers to unionize, and they want to establish benefits for drivers. I mean, we don't actually know like all the details, I guess. I mean, at least I don't. But yeah, I mean, did you read the whole like the letter or the bill? Did you read it all, Chris?
No, I didn't read the bill. I've just been reading the articles.
We're no experts here, guys.
Honestly, though,
I probably should have read the bill before I made like 7 videos about it.
Well, honestly, I mean, the majority is it's AB5 for anybody who wants to know. Again, it's Assembly Bill 5.
Yeah.
I believe it was introduced by Lorena Gonzalez.
Lorena Gonzalez, who wrote the bill.
Yeah. So she's the assemblywoman of the 80th district. But yeah, it's essentially classification, or it's changing the classification from independent contractor to employee. So you can kind of speculate pretty good, I'm thinking, at least in terms of what an employer would do compared to what we've been able to get away with as a driver.
Yeah. So just going from the article, I mean, so it's basically like they're amending the previous Supreme Court case from last year, correct?
Yeah, they're trying to,
yeah, the ABC test, which basically would now affect like the gig economy companies, like even like I've heard like truck drivers too. But yeah, the assembly member Lorena Gonzalez, she's a Democrat, wrote the bill. She says, yeah, so she said like they're gaming the system and now it needs to pass the state Senate to gain approval from the governor to become law. So this is just in California. This is a state by state thing. But if this does get passed, this would, I wouldn't be surprised if other states do it as well. So Chris, he did want to, you know, we were talking about this earlier, and we do think that it's a good idea to reach out to your state, talk to your Senate, voice your opinion, get your, I mean, this is like I guess a given right of us as citizens to voice your opinion. I don't want to tell you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to say, but I just wanted to like encourage you, if you've never reached out to your Senate or, you know, to your government, now is the perfect time to do that, because this is directly affecting you if you drive or if you operate as an independent contractor.
Yeah. And one other thing to add to, this is, you said before, this is California. But if you are in other states, and it does pass in California, it's very possible that it could come to another state or your state. I live in New York. New York City itself is very different because they have the minimum wage thing going on within the 5 boroughs. I live in upstate New York, so it could very easily be there. But yeah, it's something that you want to watch out for. Even if you don't live in the state, you could reach out to them and voice your opinion, whether you're for or against it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, leave a thumbs up on the video. There's only 12 likes right now. That's kind of low.
Only 12?
Yeah, and we have 48 people watching and only 12 likes.
Come on, guys, give it a good thumbs up.
I don't know, Chris. Maybe if we don't get to 20 likes in the next minute, maybe we should just end the video.
Maybe. No. We'll keep it going.
No. If we don't get 10 more likes in the next 60 seconds, the video's ending. Yeah, guys, give the video a thumbs up. Literally, it takes 2 seconds for you. If you're on mobile, you do need to click X and then do a thumbs up on the chat. But yeah, I hope the audio is, I think it's going fine. All right, just checking the audio, making sure we're going good here. So this bill does come at a very interesting time because Uber and Lyft did just go public. And I mean, I have very strong opinions, like I know people who work at Uber. I've talked to people who work at software engineers at Uber. I've talked to people who work at Tesla, Lyft. Everyone is going towards driverless cars. That is literally, I mean, I'm up in the California Bay Area near San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and like anyone who works in a car, like in ride sharing, that's all they talk about because that's the only way that they can make money. So, and I've talked with people at Uber, and surprisingly, at least I was surprised, is that they have really they're like super slow at their like implementing new technology because they have so many safety parameters, and they don't want to get rid of drivers. They just want to add the option for a driverless car. But I do think this like bill comes at an interesting time because Uber and Lyft did just go public. and like Uber's not doing great stock wise. I mean, even Mark Cuban said, he's like, I would not invest in Uber right now. It's taken them over 9 years, 10 years to become profitable, and they're still not yet profitable. But I don't know. I mean, what do you think about the timing of this, Chris?
It's pretty interesting for sure. I still think it's more of a strike issue because there was so much being raised. I mean, first you had that strike in LA, and then you had the strike that just happened just before the Uber IPO went live.
Yeah.
So I think it was more in retaliation or more in retrospect to the strikes that were coming around and being more known, especially on the news and things like that. I mean, I think the IPO was just kind of a coincidental type thing.
Well, the strikes happened because of the IPO. I mean, kind of.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know, but I mean, like for them to kind of make that law, I think it was to more so for that.
Oh yeah, I do think it is also like coincidental. I just think it has like bigger effects because it's.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And also like California, I do think the reason why it's happening in California right now. I mean, San Francisco's, I'm pretty sure, is the biggest market, the most amount of drivers. I mean, that's where it did start, I believe. And like that's where the headquarters are and stuff too. But yeah, so let me know, guys. If you guys drive for Uber or Lyft, let us know in the comment section. And then if you drive full-time or part-time, I do want to know, I would be interested in knowing whether or not like how this would affect you. In terms of implementation practicality wise, I mean, this is Uber and Lyft don't want, like they're not the ones trying to get this to pass. This is, the California Assembly, and like people in the government. Practically, how it's gonna look, will all drivers have to be employees? I mean, right now, if you look at a normal company, you have full-time employees who receive benefits, and then part-time employees who just, it would be a set wage for sure. But it would be interesting to see practically. I mean, do you have any thoughts on like how it would look for us drivers if this? Let's just say, let's put in theoretically, this bill gets passed. All Uber drivers, all Lyft drivers are now employees. How do you envision that's going to look, Chris?
First, I think you're going to have to choose whether you're going to drive for Uber or Lyft. I don't see the flexibility happening anymore because they're competing companies, and when you're employed, usually you can't work for another unless you're, or at least if you work for both at the same time, it won't be online at the same time.
Yeah,
you might be able to do like one shift one day, and then the next shift would be on the other platform. I think that would be one of the quick changes where you wouldn't be able to. Also, you might have a certain set amount of drivers that are only able to be out on the road at a time. Maybe, I don't know, some sort of scheduling. I mean, there's a lot of different factors that could change.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't want a set schedule. The reason I signed up was not for a set schedule.
Oh, you and me both. Same thing. I enjoy the flexibility. I drive part-time too, so I enjoy that.
I'm just thinking, like, if this actually passes, Uber and Lyft are like, I don't even think this would work. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It could actually spell the end for Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
In all honesty.
Yeah.
Or even just the end in California itself.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of other examples where like, even like, this might be a little bit of a stretch, but even like bird scooters and Lime scooters over here in California, like in LA, they're everywhere, right? Like, but when they first came out, they just didn't even like, they totally disregarded like all regulations, and they just dumped like thousands of them out. And then sorry, someone's texting me. then all of a sudden the city was like, no, you can't do this. And then I mean, now they kind of like adopted into the system, but like I'm trying to think of examples where like companies start and then now like they just died. I mean, Uber, it's crazy. Like Uber's like an $80 billion company, but for them to, yeah, I mean, I don't think it would work if like to run on an employee system unless people were still able to have their flexibility and all that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it would just be a guaranteed wage. I mean, do you ever have you done food delivery before?
Yeah, I did Uber Eats for a little bit. It was very short done because to me there's no benefit to me. It was like if I'm sitting in McDonald's for 25 minutes, it's not worth it.
Because I think some food delivery, like they have block scheduling where I know actually Instacart, I think Grubhub, maybe DoorDash. I don't know. I don't know a lot about food delivery, but like their schedule, they do have schedules in that where you sign up for your Amazon Flex, for example. You pick your block, like a 3-4 hour period, and then you do all your deliveries during that schedule. So
yeah, I'm thinking that might be the way, but yeah, I couldn't tell you the last or any time I've ever seen a company that had to radically change its entire structure. Essentially, that's what it's got to do, at least for California.
Yeah,
if it passes.
Let's take a few questions, guys. Leave your questions down below. We're gonna keep this video pretty short. It is getting a little dark where Chris is, so maybe we can. Oh, there you go.
Got some lights. Don't worry.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, leave your guys' questions. We'll answer a couple before the video ends. So let's see. Let's get a good question. There's so many questions. I can't get through them all. Leave a really good one, and then I'll answer that. Well, this isn't a question, but Rideshare Lisa says, I drive full time, and I did a spreadsheet, and Uber takes most of my money, about 45%. What do you think about that, Chris?
Yes. Well, if they take 45%, that means you got 55%. But no, I mean, it's all done by mileage and time. So I mean,
they don't pay on percentage. They don't take percentage. They pay, you have your set rate for mile, time, and like, I don't know, what are there 2 or 3 other things?
Yeah, I think like base fare or whatever.
Yeah, base fare, and then yeah, I think those are the main 3. Obviously your tolls, and then they have like an airport fee that they pay. But yeah, it depends on your not only your state but also your city, your market that you're in. So it's going to be different all the time. But as long as you're getting your minimum fare, like don't look at the percentage. It doesn't really, that's not going to change. So
yeah. Not only that, if you're driving full time, go out the times when you know it's busy. Know your market, know where the rides are coming in, so then that way you have a better time out on the road instead of sitting there waiting. You're on the road making more money then.
Renegade Biker says, I talked with a fellow rideshare driver today that does it full time, and he thinks that if this bill passes, both Uber and Lyft will probably move out of California and move their corporate office. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would be honestly really surprised if this did pass. I'm sure Uber and Lyft are doing everything they can not to get this passed, but yeah, we'll see about that. What do you think?
I mean, I don't think they're going to move their headquarters because that doesn't matter where it is. They could eliminate driving. That's a possibility. I mean, it's going to end up being what the law looks like, and then they're going to have to come up with a plan themselves. On both companies to see if it's even something that's going to be economically feasible or not.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, right now, the way Uber and Lyft operates, like if you actually look at the numbers, it is absolutely mind-boggling. So like they're signing up thousands of drivers a day, and then thousands of drivers also quit every day. So like their turnover is so high that so many people just sign up, do 3-4 rides, and then quit. So like, and to get that person to sign up, Uber and Lyft have to, like, a lot of people are saying, oh, how is Uber not profitable yet? Because they're spending like millions of dollars just signing up drivers, and then they just go and quit. For them to be like, all right, now you need to make them all employees. Now you need to do orientation, driver training. They need to have training for the first couple. Like, it just doesn't really make sense because of the way the system. I mean, it's crazy that it is working. I can't even like fathom how it works because, you know, you have drivers who drive 5 hours a week. Like, then you have other drivers who are driving like 40, 50 hours a week. It's pretty, I would say it's the most unique job ever. So, yeah.
Oh, for sure. The one thing though that I kind of want to bring up when it comes to them not making money, that's just on paper. That's not necessarily their actual cash flow, because they're getting cash flow. It's just that they're reinvesting it into the app. They're investing it into advertising. They're reinvesting it into everything. So you're a company that's starting up. When you reinvest your money, and yes, you take losses, and it's for tax purposes, so you don't pay taxes or you pay less taxes. Many companies all over the country do that. It's the loopholes there, and it's just the way they stack their debt. So they are making money. They're making they probably are making positive cash flow at this point already, because there's so many rides happening all of the time. It's just that the only difference is, on paper, they're reinvesting all their profits and making it look like they're in debt versus maybe not. Now, I haven't looked at their financial statements, so I can't say that for sure. But
Yeah, that's
there's definitely things that way.
Yeah, that's definitely a good hypothesis. I know they did say that they when they filed for their IPO that they spend $20 million a month on driverless cars.
I believe that.
And then also obviously employees, advertising. I mean, they're investing into Uber Freight, so like they're spending I mean, Amazon doesn't pay taxes, I'm pretty sure. But
no, they don't.
Yeah.
Or at least they didn't last year.
Yeah.
So, and that's what it is. They're reinvesting everything, so that's how they're able to get away with it.
Jonathan Barnes says, if we become employees, would that mean they have to pay for car repairs and cost of gas? What do you think about that, Chris?
I don't know. I'm thinking that there's probably going to be some sort of car allowance. That's the only thing I could think of. I really don't know. I mean, otherwise they might start buying cars or something and then like renting out vehicles to drivers, but I'm not sure.
The way that the New York City one was structured when they did, I guess, I don't even know what's happening with that, but they tried to structure a minimum wage. The base pay was $17, and then they gave you an extra $10 per hour to pay for like expenses and stuff. So it was 27 an hour. So that way you can factor in. They factored in that each hour you're spending $10 on your car or on your expenses.
Or they might do like they might track your mileage and then pay you a mileage rate. That might be like what the IRS gives for car maintenance and gas and all that. I'm not sure though.
Yeah. What do you think about Uber entering the moving business? I guess with Uber Freight. Yeah, I mean, they're just different. They're just diversifying. Like, I mean, yeah, it's probably a smart move. Like, that's what, I mean, this is like, I guess, I want to say the biggest reason, but one of the main ways that Uber is much larger than Lyft. Like, Lyft is mean, when you hear the Uber CEO talk about Lyft, he literally talks about Lyft as like a pebble in the dust. Like, he's like, oh yeah, Lyft is just a rideshare business. Like, we do rideshare, we do food delivery, we have Uber Freight, like we're doing driverless, whatever. Like, I guess Lyft is doing that too, but Uber does have a lot of different projects. Also, Uber is international. They're in, other countries, not only US and Canada like Lyft is. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty smart. Like, what do you?
They're also in the submarine business now.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, I think that's more like a publicity stunt, but
yeah,
like, yeah. I think that is a partnership with the government of in Queensland to get
something like that. It's a unique thing.
I think they're paying Uber like a bunch of money to like attract more tourists to their to wherever. So Blanca Ronhell says, "Hi Dylan. Hey Blanca, how are you? They charge passengers and what they charge them drivers paid by mileage time. Yep. Dakota J, like the weather here in Arkansas, when it comes to both Uber and Lyft, expect the unexpected." That was a good analogy. I want one of the car scents. Oh, they want one of these. Rideshare.
You know what you got to do? You got to hit that like button.
Hit the like button. Wait, are we really still only at 12 likes? Maybe mine's like not updated or something.
It might not. You might have to close out the app and then, or I mean the chat and then restart it. Or the live stream.
So CEO should be investigation about why he get 45 million and raised, and why the CEO shares his salary to all Uber drivers. Does he actually get $45 million? Is that true?
He got that as I think it was a bonus structure last year.
And why the CEO shares his salary to all Uber drivers. That's my video. Oh no, we're at 29 likes. Never mind. Okay.
We're getting it up there.
I guess they don't want us to end the video. That's fine. So, Amy Daniels, what's up? Fredo Beretta. Supreme Lyft DC says DC drivers are doing 90 hours a week.
Wow. I hope you're getting enough sleep there, bud.
Is that really? Wait, is that even physically possible?
There's 168 hours in a week, so it's, yeah.
Wait, what's 90 divided by 7? That would be 12. That would be 13 hours a day, every day, no days off.
That's insane. Sorry, that's way too much.
Imagine
you making it 90 hours a week.
Imagine you wake up at 6 a.m., start driving by 7 a.m. sharp, and you're on the entire, maybe you take a lunch break for 30 minutes, and then you drive until 9 p.m.
Wow. That's a little much, man. Man, hey, if you got to hustle, though, you got to hustle.
Hey, I mean, if it's for a month or two because, you're trying to, I don't know, save yourself from going bankrupt, then all I have to say to that is make sure you get enough sleep if you're doing that. And don't do that long term because that will not last.
No, and your car would only last for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Just make sure you're getting, if you're doing that, make sure you're getting your car proper oil changes.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you're getting your oil changed every 3 days if you're doing that. He says power nap work. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. Dylan, Chris, what do you think about the 2018 Dodge Journey SXT as an Uber and Lyft vehicle? It has separate climate control and 2 floor-mounted coolers.
Does it have a partition to block you from the passengers? I mean, Dodge is nice. I drive a Jeep, so.
Yeah. Entertaining You says it's 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yeah, I said 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. with a lunch break. So if you're doing 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., that means you're taking no lunch breaks at all. That's insane. Blanca Ronhell says, I did like it. If drivers are to be, here's a good one by Fredo Beretta. If drivers are to be classified as employees, when will they be providing vehicles? That's the biggest expense. I bought my Toyota Camry new in 2014. Never buy a new car for Uber and Lyft. I highly would not recommend buying a new car, because as soon as you drive it up, in general, as soon as you drive a new car off the lot, you just lost $6,000 pretty much. And otherwise, you're just depreciating. Unless you're like hella rich. I mean, I have very strong opinions on car buying. If you want to chat about that, we can. I know every other people have their different opinions. It has 199,000 miles on it. Uber hasn't helped. Yeah, Uber's not going to help you with your car payment. That's just like, I don't know if you thought they did when you bought it. But yeah, like a lot of jobs now, they do give you a car allowance. I think it actually is mandatory if you're running like a LLC, and say you're doing your employees are like a construction worker and they have to drive to different construction sites all the time. You either have to provide a car or give your employee a driver allowance. I don't know if there's something like that. Do you know anything about that, Chris?
I mean, it could be a car allowance for a car, so they can give you like maybe a certain like $300 a month or something, or more, or they're gonna do like if you track their mileage, and they'll pay you like a per mile thing. So either one is working.
If you do get a car allowance, though, that doesn't mean go out and buy a $30,000 car and then use the car allowance to pay off the car for 5 years. That is not what a car allowance means.
No.
Do
That
not
means
fall into that.
buy a used car and try to pay that off as quick as possible, or try to pay it off all at once. And then that way you're not paying interest, which is more money out of your pocket.
The car allowance is pretty much to maintain your car, not to pay for the car payment. So keep that in mind too. And if you buy a car, that's your own asset that whatever. You got to make sure you don't fall into a trap like that. It doesn't have a partition wall yet, but I am considering it, says Renegade Biker 24.
That is awesome.
Are you serious?
Well, I mean, huh?
Is that actually a thing?
Well, it's a joke, having a partition up, because like with quiet mode.
Oh yeah.
And then that way it's especially when you get those passengers that just keep talking and talking, and you're like, all right, quiet please.
Yeah, I know. Entertaining You says, I did Uber Eats a lot at first, but not anymore, just a bit. Less promotion lately and not that much pings anymore.
I think a lot of people are going to DoorDash.
Renegade Biker says he's serious. He's actually thinking about getting a wall.
That is awesome. You better send pictures of that if you do that.
I bought a 2017 Nissan Versa 3 months ago with average of 30 miles per gallon, 30 miles a gallon, $9,000. Wow, $9,000 with 50,000 miles on it. That's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, not too shabby.
2017 for $9,000. See, now think about if you bought that car new and had to sell it after 2 years for $9,000. That guy who bought it new probably spent $30,000 out of pocket, maybe even more after taxes and everything. Then he resold it. He lost at least $20,000 on that car when he bought it new, just in depreciation. And I mean, gas is important, but gas is only one of the 3 factors in car costs: maintenance, and then depreciation and gas. So if you're like, oh, the car costs $30,000, but I'm going to save all this money on gas, that's not really true at all. You might save a couple $100, but I would much rather pay less, a lot. I mean, obviously the math needs to make sense, but I would much rather buy a really cheap car with bad gas mileage than an expensive car with good gas mileage. What about you, Chris?
Yeah, buy new, or I mean, don't buy new, buy used.
You're like,
Or
yeah,
buy a
you're an
Tesla.
idiot.
I mean, buying a Tesla would be great because then you don't have that gas mileage there, and a lot less maintenance. But
That's true.
and it's funny because I mean, not to go off on a tangent here, but yes, Tesla is a little bit more expensive. But when you, if you purchase used, you know, you can kind of offset the costs with not paying gas, and also again the maintenance is almost nothing when it comes to a Tesla.
Yeah.
So yes, I drive a Grand Cherokee right now. Gas can be a little expensive, and right now it's not too bad in my area. But if it keeps going up, you know, my car's paid off. I don't have to worry about that payment, all that good stuff.
Same here. Same here. I'm in the
Yeah.
car paid off club.
Nice. So I'm driving this thing into the ground. I mean,
Me
until
too.
it literally is crawling.
Yeah.
I'm driving this thing as long as I can.
Yeah.
So
James Liddon says, I would like to get a Tesla even used. I do Supreme Lyft. I do Uber X out of H2 Hummer. Wow.
wow.
You're driving a Hummer for Uber X. Kenneth Morrison. Hey guys. What's up, Kenneth? Fry Guy Zero says, coming in from Dustin's channel. Oh, I don't know how you found me through Dustin's channel, but what's up? I don't think he's ever shouted out my channel. So even though he's been on my channel like 4 times, he's a lot bigger than me. So I like the freedom of being an independent contractor. Me too. Yes, Chad. Me too. Hashtag me too.
Well, you know what? How about, since we're talking about the employee versus independent contractor route, why don't we talk about the differences of the two, and maybe the reasons why, if the way you want to go with it, and then maybe the way I want to go with it.
Yeah, sure. The differences, number one, independent contractor. You work whenever I guess let's do pros and cons of each, right? Let's get all technical here because we got a lot of nerdy viewers out in the on the Rideshare Hub. Because I like to talk numbers, right?
For each point we give, you guys got to give a like.
Yeah, give a thumbs up, guys. Please, please. It's like simplest thing for you guys. Just do a thumbs up on the video. And then, you know, I'm not saying, oh, buy my course. You know, this is, and I won't call any names out, but I'm not selling a no rideshare driver course here. You don't need to spend $30 a month for my course. Just give it a little thumbs up. That's all I ask. All right. Thank you. Okay. Pros and cons of being an independent contractor for Uber and Lyft. Pros: sign up or sign in and off whenever you want. You can work 5 hours a week. You can work 5 minutes a week. You can work 90 hours a week. You can work as much or as little as you want, and you can work when and where you want, right? Another pro for driving, for being an independent contractor. What else do you think is a pro?
Besides making your own schedule, is the fact that you don't have to ask to take off. So if you want to go out of town, or, you know, if you got some family emergencies or business, you can take off and sign off for as long as you need until you come back and sign back on. So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Not to jump the gun, but if you're an employee and you get okay, basically as an independent contractor, for me, like I have a normal job, right? If all of a sudden I'm like, my job gets crazy, I need to work extra there, I'll probably take a couple weeks off of Uber and Lyft. And okay, maybe if fast forward a year or two, I don't know, because I work at a lot of startups. Actually, a couple months ago, my startup lost funding. We're making millions of dollars. Well, we weren't really making dollars. We were generating revenue. And then all of a sudden our investors who've been investing millions of dollars just said, all right, sorry, no more money for you guys. So all of a sudden I didn't have a job anymore. Now I work for Uber and Lyft to still get my income. But in the meantime, I'm looking for another job. And so when I get a job, I work less. That is only really possible if you are an independent contractor. That's not possible if you're an employee. I would say I guess the cons of being an independent contractor, you don't have benefits. You don't have like, I wouldn't say free healthcare because you still have to pay for insurance. Even if you're an employee, still gets taken out of your check, but you have less of an access to healthcare. And then one that a lot of you guys have raised is that, you do have to pay for your expenses out of pocket. But I mean, I see that as a pro, but a lot of you guys, that could potentially be a con as well. So,
well, the good thing is though too, if you play it right, all your expenses can be tax write-offs or tax deductible.
Oh yeah, and another one is when you're operating in 1099, you get a bunch of tax benefits because you can actually you can use your own tax. You can use tax write-offs. Every single mile that you drive, that's 58 cents for. I actually know somebody who he drives a Tesla for Uber and Lyft, and he only does premium, like Lyft, Uber Black and stuff, and like Uber Select and then Lyft Flux. And then, but whenever he's driving around, he always keeps his app on, even though he's hardly getting any requests. And he claims every single mile that he makes, or every single mile that he does, just for the tax benefits alone. So, yeah.
That's a smart move.
And he has a Tesla, so like he calculated it out, 58 cents. He's only spending his cost per mile is like 28 cents. So he's kind of like he gets like almost double bonus. I'm actually going to make a reaction video to that soon. His video is titled "How I Make $75 an Hour Driving a Tesla for Uber and Lyft" or something. But okay, now moving on to employee. Now let's do pros and cons of employee. Chris, do you want to take this one?
Sure. What do you want me to start with? The cons or the or the benefits or pros?
Let's do the cons, and then we can address some of the the benefits.
Okay, so the cons of being an employee is you're an employee, so that means you're not the business owner. You have to follow suit to what maybe those rules are. Your scheduling is already determined by somebody else, whether it's shift work or 9 to 5 or whatever it might be, block out. You're
so you just said a good one. Actually, I guess this is a pro for independent contractors, or it could also be con for employee. Is that a con is that you can't make money, like you're limited just to one app, I guess. And you can't right now you can do cargo for extra money, you can do stereo, you can do those tablets, like all that is your own income. But if you're an employee, you can't drive for both apps. You're just subjected to one.
Yeah. So, and that's definitely a pro for IC and a con for employee. But yeah, then the cons too are, you not only are you stuck to your schedule, but you might have to fulfill so many hours per week, meaning you might only get say 2 weeks off vacation time, like jobs. You have to ask for time off. You have to you can't clock in and out whenever you want.
And they can say no to those requests too. Those are not guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the, do you have any cons besides?
Just the fact that they're going to give you a set schedule. When I worked on my other jobs, I used to work at a hotel, and I had to work every day from 7 to 3. And then one night, some days I would do 7 to 3. And then the next day I would work like three, like, I don't know, like, I think it was like 2 till like 10 or 11. And then the next morning I had to get up again at 7 and start working. And like, those were just like I would basically just get off work, go straight home, go to sleep, and then wake up and like go back to work. And like, you only need, I think, is like 8 or 9 hours in between a shift. And so they can give you a really bad schedule and there's really nothing you can do. I mean, if you miss your shift, that's a couple shifts that you miss and you're going to get fired. That's how it works. So right now, the fact that I don't even, it's almost like an adrenaline thing. I mean, I used to have much more of a set schedule, but now I drive like much more part-time. So if I'm sitting chilling bored on a Friday night, all of a sudden, or if I'm about to go out with my buddies, I don't know, whatever happens, maybe my date flakes on me, I can be like, well, I'm gonna go out and make money. But if you're an employee, like that whole like system of like working on this like your own schedule falls through the roof.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole thing. Like usually when I'm out driving on say like a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night, they'll be asking, "Oh, don't you want to go out to the bar or something?" I'm like, I'd rather go out and make some money instead of spend some money. So that's why I'm driving.
Yeah, and if it's good, you're gonna stay out a little bit later. I mean, I've been driving at night sometimes where I'm just like, I don't plan on driving too late, and then all of a sudden I get like a rush of energy or something, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll put in a couple more hours.
Yeah. Not only that, sometimes it can just pick up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And, like 11 or I mean, like 12, 1 o'clock. And then all of a sudden it like picks up and it's like 2, 3 in the morning before you realize it because there's just a ride after ride coming in.
Yeah.
But
Going to the
then,
employee, now you
go ahead.
feel more of like a taxi driver.
Yeah, a little bit. Not only that, though, too, when it comes to Uber and Lyft, if you are an employee driving, what happens when rides come up? Are you going to have to accept all rides, go to any area? Like right
Yeah.
now, you can choose to accept I mean, or deny a ride depending on many different factors. If the passenger rating is low, you can deny a ride. If the ride is a long fare, you don't have to take it if you want to stay close. If it's in the opposite direction of the way you want to go, same kind of thing.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Kenneth Morrison. Shout out to Kenneth. He just left me a $2 super chat. Thanks, man.
Nice.
Get the super chats. Yeah.
Remember, elite status, $25.
What do you get if you donate any, like just $1?
You get to be part of the Rideshare Club.
Okay, the Rideshare Hub Club. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kenneth is now in the Rideshare Hub Club. Dustin is driving. What's up, dude?
How's it going, man?
Bob Thorpe. This is definitely the likely outcome. MH08, big concert this week, and they expect 80,000 concert goers. I'm skipping that. I just don't need the headaches. If I was an employee, I'd have to work the event. That's probably, yeah. I mean, we don't know how it will look, but possibly, yeah.
There you go. That's true. That's another thing too. That's a great point. Like so the Buffalo Bills are the local NFL team, and you are it's one of the largest stadiums in the NFL, and it's enormous. And the way the roads are, it's absolutely horrible. And if you're driving or trying to go around there, all the roads are closed off going in. It's a big hassle to try to be a driver and go in when the game is getting out or everybody's requesting rides. Sure, the surge is great, but I try to avoid that at all costs because they're going to be pulling drivers from everywhere to go there. So I'll try going away from the stadium, but maybe they'll tell you where you need to go and the things that you need to do. That's another thing. You could be like district based.
Definitely. Yeah. They might start flying people out to work Coachella. Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to read through all the comments. We're just getting flooded with absolute great questions. What is a fair compensation for being an employee? Will they provide a car?
We
Maybe.
don't know.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
I mean, if think about it, if they had to provide cars on top of the wage and then benefits, because we're just talking, we only brought up wages, we never brought up the benefits. So is retirement, is health insurance, all these different benefits are going
Actually, this is a really good point. Sorry to cut you off, Chris.
No problem.
But I just found this out. Do you know that you can do it's like called the self-employment 401k?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm a little younger, so I haven't really been investing that much, but like it's a huge tax write-off.
Yeah, I prefer if we're gonna get into investing, I like to do IRAs.
Roth IRA.
Only because it's after tax dollars, but you don't pay taxes on it once the return in retirement age. So I do like that a little bit better. And there's a lot of different things. So if you're looking for investments or like retirement funds or pensions or anything like that for yourself when you're self-employed, talk to anybody who's in that type of field because they're going to have a lot better knowledge. And then the only other thing is make sure you talk to a few people just so you can see the many options that you do have.
Definitely. Yeah. Let's see. They can tell you where and when to drive. Possibly, yeah. If that is, MH08, let's see. I hate being stuck in traffic for an hour for a $4 trip.
I hear you there, brother or sister, whoever said that.
One, don't assume their gender, Chris. This is 2019.
That's why I said brother, sister.
Yeah, but you didn't say it.
Okay.
They could sexually identify as a piano. You don't know that.
That's true. Or a bottle of juice.
Or a lollipop. Let's see. So many questions, guys. You guys are absolutely phenomenal at leaving questions. Again, best part of being self-employed is you do what's best for you. Oh yeah, MH08 just said retirement insurance. You ain't gonna see that. Well, I mean, they actually will have to provide options for that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to.
That's one of the biggest reasons why they're trying to go for that.
Yeah, but think about that again. If you're making everybody employees, and let's just say it's just the state of California, where it's going to be probably the most amount of drivers in that state period, just because it's a large state and it's basically where it started, especially in San Fran. But I mean, think about it. If you're doing just your hourly rate plus all your benefits, and if you're taking into account the cost of car, whether it be maintenance, allowance, or providing cars in general, it's going to cost them a ridiculous amount of money. So much more so than just the amount of money that they're able to actually hand out.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. All right, guys. How many likes are we at, guys? I can't see. Give the video a thumbs up, guys, if you want this car freshener. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty nifty, right? Gotta do the giveaway. Can you guys see it yet? Can you see it?
That is cool. I do like that.
Isn't it dope?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shout
out to AeroTags. This is not a sponsored video, guys. They did not send me $10,000 to shout them out. No, I'm just kidding. That is cool though. These are not disposable, so these last years. You just put a couple drops in of oil, fragrance oil, and then you can reuse it. But what was I gonna say? Yeah. Maybe if we get to 100 likes, I'll do the giveaway for that.
We'll give it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Although I can't, I don't qualify for this giveaway, do I? Because I'm on the video.
Oh, yeah, you can't leave a thumbs up?
Well, no. Well, I mean, I can, but I can't. I'm saying I can't qualify for it because I'm helping you host the video.
Oh no, yeah, you can't. You have to leave a thumbs up in order to qualify. Because I will check. There's a way, trust me. 32 likes so far. Wow, we got a ways to go, guys. Employees equals federal employees equals government benefits equals taxes. No thanks. Hashtag independent contractors. Agreed. That's why I value these discussions. Always adopt the stone cold Stephen Austin approach when it comes to big companies and don't trust anyone. LOL. I'm in Canada. I'm assuming the desire for benefits and being called an employee is only in the US. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Canada's whole like employee and / independent contractor. Oh yeah, I was gonna talk about this because, sorry, this is a thought that I wanted to bring before we move to the next topic, before we end the video. We were talking about investing and in 401k plans, Roth IRAs, mutual funds. Most people, I believe it's like 75% of US citizens live paycheck to paycheck. And from my understanding, most people do not think long term. They're just thinking, all right, how much I want to get my money right now. So my thought on this is that if people had the choice whether or not to invest, they would not invest and they would just get the money right away. So with that being said, when you're working at an employee and you have to invest in your 401k, pretty much, it's pretty much mandatory. But if you're doing independent contract work, you're not really, most people are not investing their money long term for retirement. And it's gotten to the point where people cannot simply retire anymore. They don't have money set aside for retirement and they're not investing. And that, I do have to say, is a big problem. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Well, one thing is that even jobs for anybody is not providing enough either, whether they have retirement plans or pensions set up, because the majority of rideshare drivers are older.
That's true.
Yes, we're younger. I mean, I'm 33. You're in your 20s. We're driving, but we're actually in the minority when it comes to that. When in the grand scheme of things, that older people are the ones who are driving more
because they can't afford to retire. Yeah.
Yep. Now I know this is outside the investing part of things, but wasn't there just a court case like real recently that defined, yes, Uber and Lyft drivers are independent contractors? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember where was that a US a federal judge that said that, or was that a state?
I believe that was, I think that was federal. Yeah, that wasn't the Supreme Court though, I don't think.
I don't believe so. I think it was a district court, but I can't remember if it was a state or a federal branch that made that decision.
Yeah. Yeah, how do you know how recent that was? Because I do remember hearing about that.
That was very recent. I remember watching a video of yours when you were talking about it.
Oh, did I make a video on that?
Huh?
Did I make a video on that?
I think so.
I don't even remember my videos anymore.
I know you're posting like 3-4 a day.
I know. How can I remember all my videos? I actually saw a video that I posted and I was like, I do not even remember uploading that. Mm-hmm. It was about how the recalls on cars and how cars were all of a sudden being like disqualified for Uber and Lyft. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, they're being deactivated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Until it's fixed.
Yeah, I hope none of you guys had to deal with that. I guess, I don't know. Let us know your guys' thoughts on this. Again, voice your opinion in the comment section, and we'll write to the Senate. Lorena Gonzalez, she's the one who wrote the bill. If you want to reach out to her directly, you can through Twitter, right? That's how you
could. Actually, if you don't mind me plugging, if anybody could send
no
her
plugging.
a message,
You have to pay for plugging, Chris.
Oh, because I wanted to get her on my channel and do a live stream and actually see what she would do or bring up the points.
Dude, there's no way in the. Are you serious? She's not going to agree to that.
Oh no, she wouldn't be able to be put on the spot for that.
No way. That'd be like the worst. You know how much media backlash you would get for that?
How, for me? No, that'd be
for her. Oh, for her.
Oh,
what were you gonna say? For them to go tweet her to be on Real Righteous?
Yeah.
Sure. If you guys want to do that, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. I just don't think she'll say yes, but I've been proved wrong before.
Yeah, I know. But no, going back to that if drivers were considered independent contractors through, if it was a federal case or a federal judge that reviewed it, California state law may be at disagreements with the federal law, which could go to something like the Supreme Court and get overturned.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily something that could be set in stone if that's the case. There's a lot of gray area right now being treaded, and yes, this is something that's so new and so out there that we really have no idea what it could mean, except for the fact that probably a lot of the things that.
Oh, I remember now. Sorry, okay. Continue.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to say that a lot of the things that we have as independent contractors, or the freedom or flexibilities that come with it, may not be the same after being considered an employee. But yeah, go ahead with what you found.
No, it was Uber settled with. It wasn't a court case. Uber just, well, I guess it was like more of a general settlement with. Basically, Uber and Lyft, mostly Uber drivers have been suing Uber. I mean, Uber and Lyft get sued every day, but like, there's, I guess they wanted to clear the air before, right when they IPO'd, every single, I guess, lawsuit that came out was, they just settled with all of them to say that they, yeah, I mean, they didn't say like whether or not actually they were independent contractors or employees. They just settled with them.
Okay, then I must have misheard that, because I thought when I saw that or was watching, I thought I heard that, but I guess I might have been wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It was yeah, it was. They paid like 100. It was 70,000 lawsuits or something. 70,000, yeah, lawsuits. Okay. They paid them like $140,000 or something. But yeah, I don't know, something like that. Yeah, the Uber settles lawsuits with 60,000 drivers for 170 million bucks. Yeah, that's what I heard. So bring Dustin in to talk if he is still here. Should I call up Dustin and see if he wants to give his thoughts on this? I don't know. I don't want to put him on the spot like that. Again, being part of being self-employed is you do what's best for you, right? Oh, let's see. Any more last questions, guys? There's so many good questions. Does it usually take a while to get approved to drive for Uber? Lyft took me like 2 days, but I applied over a week ago with Uber and it still says pending. I actually was approved the same day that I applied. Well, no, I guess technically I applied and then I set up my inspection, and then by the time I got my inspection done, I guess they had already approved me. So I think during, like, when I scheduled it, it took a few days to get scheduled. So during that time, they just need to run your background check. I think they say up to like 2 or 3 weeks, but usually it's done within like 3 to 5 days. I don't know. Do you know anything about that, Chris?
It could be also depending on your area and the ability to get access to those records, because like, you know, they also do a driving background check just to make sure everything's good there. So it could take a little bit longer. I think when I was getting approved, I think Lyft took about almost a week for me, and then Uber was like pretty quick. I think it was like a day or two.
Yeah. You have any tips for new drivers, since I guess we got a couple new drivers out there? What should they, I mean, I guess like if you're a new driver and you're like seeing all these videos, you're probably, what the heck is going on?
Keep driving and enjoy it, because it's actually pretty fun.
For now, because I did have a couple of questions. Somebody was like, I'm a new driver, like, can I still drive whenever I want? Yeah, I mean, nothing's changed as of yet. This is like something that could be passed. Do you want to like re-explain, maybe dive a little bit deeper into like the process of how it works now that the California Assembly has wrote the bill and how it takes to go to this? I mean, I think you know more about that than I do.
Sure. So yeah, AB5 is the bill, and to whoever asked that question, if you're not in California, this doesn't apply to you, but it could down the road. This is only for California, although it could set a bad precedent or a good precedent depending on your view. But it could set a precedent just overall. So yes, it was introduced a bill called AB5, and essentially it changes the classification of Uber and Lyft drivers from independent contractors to employees of Uber and Lyft, essentially now, if it passes overall. But it passed the state assembly. Now it'll head over to the state Senate, because there's two branches of legislation. So the Senate can do a couple of different things here. They can either adopt it as is, they can write their own. They can table it, they can floor it, they can filibuster it, they can take a vote on it. They could do a lot of different things. But essentially, when they do take a vote on it, if they do, it's either going to pass or fail. And then if it passes, it goes to the governor's office. The governor can decide to veto it or sign it into law. And then everybody in the state of California, once that actually goes into law, would be considered a employee. There might be a whole new way of doing things versus being an independent contractor, which there will be. You might actually have interviews at this point too. So if you're driving currently, you may not be driving if they choose not to employ you. So that's another thing too. But yeah,
yeah.
I was just going to say the way it works now is it did pass in the assembly. It will go to the state Senate, and wherever the state Senate goes with that. I haven't heard any news yet in terms of what the Senate's going to do. But yeah, that's pretty much where it's at right now.
Yeah. I just brought up this article I can't show it, but it's going over, like you mentioned to me earlier about the settlement. So when Uber filed, when in their IPO paperwork, Uber stated, this is actually pretty interesting, that the company says it can. So basically, what happened is that there was about 60 to 70,000 lawsuits, and then during their IPO, Uber stated that they are independent contractors and that here's the settlement. So I think I did the numbers. It would be anywhere from like $3,000 to like $6,000 per person. I don't know however many people accepted that, but that was the settlement. And then they said in the IPO paperwork that classifying drivers as employees instead of contractors would adversely affect its business. So Uber just stated right there that if they had to classify their drivers as employees, it would basically ruin their company. So, or their business model, or you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, their business model. So, yeah, many people will quit if this passes. Yeah, if Uber comes up to me, sends me an email, and be like, "All right, Dylan, now you need to apply to be a driver, an employee." You know, I'm gonna probably delete the email. I'll probably save it and then make a video on it and then delete the video or the email. But yeah, I'm not down to be an employee, unless all they do is like increase the wage. What I mean, maybe that's what it'll be. Maybe all they say is, "All right, now you're making more money." We don't know, but probably not. If they do implement all those features like we were talking about, like set scheduling and stuff, then no. Do you need to go? Are you
Did you hear what wage they're talking about, or is that still all speculation at this point?
Well, like I'm just assuming the $27 an hour.
Okay. Well, that's New York's, but who knows what California might.
I'm just assuming somewhere around there, but I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay.
I haven't heard any numbers. That's just, yeah. I mean, that's just like a ballpark figure, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So people have an idea of what. I mean, the minimum wage is the minimum wage 17 there now in New York City.
I'm not sure what the minimum wage in New York is. But I think the mandatory wage is $17.22 for drivers.
Yeah.
For Uber and Lyft and all the other companies that are in New York that are operating, and then they have it's a $10 like car maintenance fee, so it ends up being like a 27, 22 or something like that per hour.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Here in California, or here in my area, it's 15 an hour.
Okay.
I don't know how. Yeah.
Yeah, in New York, I think it's $11.25 outside. I don't remember what a minimum wage is, but yeah, that's outside New York City.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Do you have any other final thoughts on this? Let's see if we have any final questions, guys. Final questions, and then after Chris shares his final thoughts, then maybe we'll answer one or two more.
All right. Yeah. No, my final thoughts are, for me, I'm right there with you. If they told me that I had to become an employee, I would actually see what it would really entail. I don't want to be an employee. I like being an independent contractor because I have a lot of other things going on as well too. But I probably won't be driving much anymore if that was the case. So yeah, that's I guess my final thought. But other than that, for anybody who's watching this, any new driver especially, you still can sign up. Nothing is changing as of yet. Again, this is only for the state of California. That could set a precedent throughout other states. But it just is something that we're talking about, that is something that could actually happen, and the repercussions of that. So again, if you're watching this and you want to become a driver, or thinking about it, or just signed up, you still can. You can still enjoy. You're an independent contractor. Make sure you know what that means, and can just start driving and enjoy it, because it is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. You can also, and if you did sign up already and you forgot to use referral code, you can still get your referral code. Or if you want to still sign up to drive, you can use the links in the description below. Also, guys, I just put in Chris's YouTube channel. It's the first link in the description. So make sure, what are you at right now, Chris? How many subscribers?
1190, I think. 1,190.
Let's get Chris. Let's try to get Chris to 1,500 subscribers.
Sure.
Does that sound good?
That sounds great.
Let's try to get Chris to 1,500 subscribers. If you're not subscribed to Chris, you're missing out. He actually shares, he's different from me. So I do a lot of talking about like tips, try to do information. Chris actually shares his real rides. So he's one of the only YouTubers right now doing that. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed to Chris. So yeah, make sure to subscribe and get him to 1,500. So, all right, let's see. I think we're done. Is that everything for the video? All of our final thoughts? Oh yeah, I was going to answer one more question or two. Thank you guys for joining the live chat for the live video. If you're watching this on replay, leave your thoughts down below as well. How will your passenger rating affect your ability to keep your job? That's a great question. Yeah, that's a very valid question as well. You will probably need to maintain a certain rating, or else you, I mean, I think 4.6, as long as you're above 4.6, you're probably fine. But there might be like incentives to have a high rating. Yeah. All right, I think that's it. Any final thoughts, Chris? Final thoughts?
I'm pretty much all set.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Again, let me know if you do want the, well, it's upside down, the car freshener, or if you want a Rideshare t-shirt, let me know in the comments. Anyways, guys, you guys are awesome. I will talk to you all soon. Have a great day. And we will make an update video when this all goes through, or if any updates do happen, I will make an update video. All right, guys. You guys are great. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye. Say bye, Chris.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
All right.